Okay, so my name is Nashwin Alaki Maniarasan and my matric number is 33 DPE 20F 2030. I'm from class DPE 1A. I'm here uh, to present to give a presentation, and I've been asked to record my video of presenting it. So the course of the presentation is communicative English, and my lecturer name is Puan Afra Ibrahim. So my code number for the subject is DUE 10012 communicative English. So I will just go to my main title of my presentation today. So my title is going to be sexual harassment. At all of my ideas I can come about finding a title for my presentation, I was given sexual harassment of 3 topics I've been chosen. So to be honest, sexual harassment is way more, to be honest, it's like too radical to be think about. So I just don't want to waste my time, so I just go with my slide now. So it has, my slide contains 5 main points, and other than that we got conclusion and questions. So I will talk about that at the end of my present. So my presentation includes definition, effect, reporting, causes, prevention, conclusion, and question. So I will just go to my next slide. Okay, my next slide is I will just go straight to my first point, which is definition of sexual harassment. So what is sexual harassment? Sexual harassment is a personality of explicit or implicit sexual overtones, which men usually have. They do to women who they feel weaker than men. Other than that, we can notice someone is trying to be sexual harassing you by finding their behavior is unwelcomed. You can find them totally having unwelcome behavior. Other than that, sexual harassment also concludes sexual abuse and or assault. Those are, even though illegal, they are really scary for some girls or women, because that can traumatize them. And also, sexual harassment is illegal by law of nation. Even though there are people still doing that, and also the people of getting punishment for their crime they have did, which is sexual harassment, is very low. So my next slide is, I will want to talk about my second main point, which is effect. What are the effect for the person who has been sexually harassed? So my first subpoint is impact to psychological health. Being sexually harassed by a man can give a big impact to psychological health. A woman, especially a woman, she can have mental stress, trauma, also shivering, many more. They will have problem with even to look a man's face in the crowd. They will have a really hard time to walk on a crowded place. It's a very important to I explain this, because in sexual harassment psychologically make big impact. Also, my second subpoint is physical well-being. Usually man or woman who have been sexually harassed can not maintain their physical well-being. They will have lot of bruises on their hand. They will have lot of bruises, or also we can say they can have many more wounds created by fingernails that can which really harm their physical well-being. And my next point is vocational development. Vocational development is something really hard, no matter man or woman, but especially it's really hard for a woman to be adaptive after everything happened as such as sexual harassment. Vocational development is really hard because they have to go to the same company they are working if they have been sexually harassed in the place. Being in such a state after, even though a woman knows, everyone knows about what happened to her, but no one will risk their life or risk their pride to talk about it or to defend her. So people will talk behind her back every time. So it is really hard to for a woman to be like that. And my last point is common phenomenon around the people. Nowadays sexual harassment has become really common, really common, because it has been happening to be honest in whole world, all of the world, and each and every country and states. Even though on the countryside people are still doing it, they have no regrets, just for their pleasure they are doing it, for their pleasure, to prove their power. It has been happening a lot lately. Also then, people being like to be honest, harassing a woman sexually like this, if this keep going on, the next generation of people will be rotten spoiled. They will have no manners towards women. So I don't want to take too much time, so I will go to my next slide. My next slide is reporting, which is one of my main topic. So in this report I have produced a picture which of the position of the sexual harassment has happened and the punishment they have been getting. So most of the sexual harassment has been happening on staff and employee which they work on a company, and the punishment they were getting are very low. To be honest, I'm not satisfied with for the criminals who have made the crime such as sexual harassment which they have no manners towards a woman. I really hope the punishment could be severe. So my next slide I will be talking about another main point, which is causes sexual harassment to happen. I could say it is because of the socialization among men and women. Why? Because to be honest, the whole world thinks men are stronger than women. So other than that, a woman is she is really wrongly understand a man's feeling. So the social talking they can have, no matter online or in real life, like meeting in person, it took a woman's dignity. To be honest, it's really hard for a woman to be handle that, because their socialization between man and woman end up in bad. If the woman calculate a man's personality wrongly, she's in the worst place. So when woman she being really socialization among men mostly take advantage of women, but it's rarely happen for men. I would like to mention both gender, man and woman. I won't say it's only men who causes sexual harassment, okay? So my another sub point is power games of gender. Some of the males, they just want to show their power to a female just by sexually harassing them. They want to prove they are top of women. They really want to prove that. I don't know why, but power of games they love to do it just to show their power, they are men. Okay, my next sub point is moral values, divorce, and cultural difference. Men or women who have all these moral values, or if a man or woman she is divorced, or they have a very big cultural difference, they can be easily taken advantages of. And my next point is credibility and victim blaming. Let's say a sexual harassment has been happened. The one who is blamed is the victim. The victim always get blamed in this case. Sexual harassment has no support at all. The victim has no credibility, and the victim also the one who is getting blamed. And my next point is aggressiveness or bravado. Causes of another cause of sexual harassment to be happening is aggressiveness or to show their bravado. Bravado is more like they want to show the person they have lot in control. They are the one who really like to be aggressive. Let's say someone being aggressive can look attractive to another person. Some they do love being bravado. So it just I don't understand. I don't understand this, but I would like to make this present because it doesn't make sense. But aggressive or bravado men are the mostly love to show to women to prove their worth. So I will just go on to my next next main point, which is prevention. Men or women who are being sexually harassed have or must make a way to prevent it. This can't happening every day or to everyone. So both men or women, they have to find a way to speak up, to raise their voice, to defend their dignity or virginity. Other than that, to prevent this, if a male or woman has been found they have been sexually harassed, they can document every incident in detail and keep all of them as evidence, as a proof for what have happened to her or him. Other than that, no matter as if she is a woman or she's weak, a woman if she is weak or she is poor, she can complain to the social organization, because the social organization has lot of ways to prevent this. They can ask the police to help by submitting a lawsuit. There are lots of ways, but that social organization really helps someone who has been sexually harassed. It's really important for them to complain to the social organization if they have been sexually harassed. And other than that, if a woman or if a woman has been sexually harassed at a company or somewhere public place, she can directly report to the police and file a lawsuit, which is really gonna help her to go through a sexual harassment incident. Alright, my next slide is going to be conclusion. My conclusion about sexual harassment is, to be honest, sexual harassment is an obstacle to peace and security. As the day now, or to be honest, in the modern generation of our world today, a woman to go out at night is really hard. It's really hard for a woman to go out at night alone, mostly, because she has no security at all, also peace. A woman walk by some bunch of guys, all they look at the woman without blinking their eyes, is a really, really annoying moment for a woman. Other than that, there is a lot of women have to sacrifice, or so she can say a woman's losses. Let's say a woman can find someone looking at her, but she can't do. Why? Because she's afraid. She had to lose so much, her dignity, her shameness, everything she has to lose during to this incident or crime, which is sexual harassment. Other than that, if the community values can destroy their future generation, if the community didn't come up to put an end to sexual harassment, this community is literally destroying their future generation of their child. A community who doesn't respect a woman, who treat a woman like a human being, is just teaching their younger generation to be like them, who doesn't respect women. That's really, really spoiling the future generation. Also, my next point is going to be vicious cycle must stop. It really, really does need to stop. It keeps cycling around women all day. To be honest, all hour, every day of a man's life or woman's life. That needs to stop. People need to stop about talking or vicious cycle, looking into people's body like that. They have to stop. They can't treat woman or man like that. Other than that, people need to accept women and pay respect as a man. Why I'm not including men, because most of the sexual harassment are made by men. To be honest, yes, that's the reality of the world today. Men are the most of the sexual harassment case has been made by men. So as a community, I just don't want to say community, as the world, all men in the world needs to accept women and pay respect as a man. They need to accept them as a family. They need to pay respect them as a human being. It all has to be done for their future, to be in peace without regrets, and also that's the best way to teach the younger generation. Alright, and my next slide will be questions. I will really like to ask if my viewers have any questions about my presentation. I'm really going to answer questions clearly, so just don't be shy to ask any question to me. Other than that, if you have any doubt, just mention it. I can reply you. Other than that, I hope you are satisfied with my presentation, because this is not a simple issue I've been presenting. Sexual harassment has been a big crime lately. Lots of women has been suffering lately. But to be honest, women are the one which are really stronger than men mentally. So I have really good respect for them. I hope every woman will defend themselves, no matter how the man they face. And my next slide will be thank you for listening to my presentation. It's not a slide, just a slide, that's why I said slide. It's not a point or something else. So I have made a lot of mistakes presenting this, I know, but I hope Madam Afra can forgive me for that. So thank you everyone for listening to my presentation. Thank you very much.